You are Locked On Pistons Postcast, part of Locked On Sports Detroit, on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Tough one tonight for the Detroit Pistons. They fall in the second night of a back-to-back to the Memphis Grizzlies. 109-103, the final in this one. We'll break it all down. It was Cade Cunningham's return to the lineup. Isaiah Stewart back from suspension, but it did not matter because Desmond Bane, how about it? 38 points for him. We'll discuss what went wrong and how Desmond Bane was able to go off and where the Pistons go from here. I'll also have my player of the game, turning point, and what we're talking about. That's all next on a live Locked On Pistons postcast. But first, we thank you for making the Locked On Pistons postcast your post-game destination, free and available wherever you get your podcasts. And of course, on YouTube, it's all part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team each and every day. Don't forget to sign up for the free, that's right, free, who doesn't love a good free newsletter? It's available to you on LockedOnDaily.com because your favorite podcast, the Locked On Pistons podcast, now has a free newsletter, LockedOnDaily.com. Make sure you sign up. Shout out to Koo on Locked On Pistons and those that listen day in and day out. We appreciate you joining the postgame show here as well because this is your postgame reaction show, free and available wherever you get your podcast. Now, let's break this one down. Unfortunately, just one night after the Pistons clinched a 6 seed or better, they were tasked with the difficult set of circumstances of flying back from Toronto to Detroit and then playing a game at Little Caesars Arena against a good Memphis team that is still fighting despite firing their coach this month, or I guess that might have been last month. But point being, you get the idea that this Memphis team is certainly no slouch, and they showed it even without Ja Morant that they are and will be a tough out in the NBA postseason. Now, that being said, no Jalen Duren tonight as well. I think that certainly hurt the Pistons and probably the biggest area statistically on the glass. I mean, this is a team, the Detroit Pistons coming in, that was a pretty decent rebounding team. But tonight, I mean, make no mistake about it, that was part of where this game was lost. The Grizzlies out-rebound the Pistons 64-44, and that included 17 offensive rebounds. So think of the number of extra possessions there. Certainly an area in which the Pistons came up short in this 109-103 defeat. But as always, we'll take your comments because we love to make this a collaborative environment, a collaborative post-game show, because there's nothing like sounding off after a difficult loss or a big win, whatever it may be. But either way, it's welcome here on the Locked On Pistons postcast. So use that comment feature and we will get into it. But right now, we begin the program with what everybody's going to be talking about, what I'll be talking about when you look at this game. It's our Talking About segment.
This is what you'll be talking about.
There are no moral victories in professional sports, in college sports, in any sport for that matter. And tonight's certainly not a moral victory. And I'm not downplaying the loss by any means. In fact, it's a disappointing way after the high of last night of clinching. But I think you see in tonight's loss how important Jalen Duren is, how important each member of this Detroit Pistons team is, and that they truly are a team in every sense of the word, just like the teams in years past for the Detroit Pistons that have had the success, the going to work Pistons. And I'm not saying this team is the going to work Pistons by any means. There's a lot of different makeups when you think of the structure of this team. That going to work Pistons team, no real superstar. There's a cohesive unit of 5. Now this team, I believe, has the same components of the toughness, of the grittiness, and everything that we loved about those teams. But make no mistake about it, Cade Cunningham is the superstar in the National Basketball Association. But tonight, I think tonight reiterated how important some of those role players are and what this team needs to do moving forward when you get into those important games down the stretch and into the postseason. Now, that being said, for Cade Cunningham, 9 of 24, 25 points. So it's not like he had an off game by any means, but you were really missing Jalen Duren out there. As for the rest of the Detroit Pistons, you think about which, by the way, no Tobias Harris as well. So that's certainly worth mentioning because he's a big loss not having him in the lineup as well. But Dennis Schroeder in the starting lineup, he had 10 points, a big 3 down the stretch there, 18 for Ausar Thompson, 9 for Tim Hardaway Jr. Need a little bit more from him. And then Isaiah Stewart in the starting lineup with 16 points. Malik Beasley off the bench with 11 points, just 4 of 16 from the floor, 3 of 12 from the long line. So a tough night for Malik Beasley. And when the Pistons have an off night, they're in it every step of the way. I mean, 2-point game there late, just could not get the what they needed. And it's a bummer too, because Memphis really took that fourth quarter and outscored the Pistons 34-26 down the stretch after such a strong third quarter by the Detroit Pistons to be in position to make a go at it and Cade's return to the lineup. But that being said, I don't think this is a game where you feel like the sky is falling by any means. You don't feel like this takes away from the type of team that the Pistons are and can be. It was the matter of it being an off night, and I know second night of a back-to-back, I'm not going to, I have to stay true to the bit. That's right, the bit being I hate that excuse, but third game in 4 nights for the Pistons, tired legs. I think the rebounding numbers are certainly reflective in that. But let's get to some of those comments. Appreciate everybody checking in as always. Demetrius McNeil, fired up to have you on the Locked On Pistons postcast, saying only 7 offensive rebounds for the Pistons the entire game. Fact of the matter is they will begin the playoffs on the road. Now, that is in all likelihood going to be the case, but it's not out of the questions. When you take a look at the NBA standings, Pistons trying to catch the Indiana Pacers, with the Pacers at 46 and 31, Pistons now 43 and 34. 43 and 35 after the loss tonight. And so it's not out of the question that the Pistons can catch the Indiana Pacers, but certainly an uphill battle with just the number of games that are remaining. When you look at the remaining schedule for the Detroit Pistons, they've got the Kings on Monday, then the Knicks at home on Thursday. They host the Bucks, so this is the beginning of a long homestand, which is nice. You've got 3 more at home after tonight's game, and then back to Milwaukee on Sunday, April 13th, to conclude the season, which is a week from tomorrow. Conclude the regular season, I should say. So lots going on there, which makes it fun, and this is exactly where you want to be in the midst of that positioning for the postseason. But tonight certainly hurts, and you got to give a lot of credit to Desmond Bane. I mean, my goodness, the guy just went off 38 points, and this is coming off 48 the other last time, not the last time, but when the Pistons played at Little Caesars Arena. I mean, this is a guy that can hurt the Pistons for whatever reason. He lights up the Pistons and has just a way of being really, really good against the Detroit Pistons, because the first time these two teams played this year, it was a 131-111 win for the Memphis Grizzlies. So they sweep the season series. And in that game, this is crazy. In that game, Desmond Bane had 2 points, and that was Marcus Smart with 25 off the bench for the Grizzlies in that game, the last time these two teams met in November. But you can always dig up and find the fun stuff about what this game means and that game means, and so on and so forth. But also worth noting, you got Jaren Jackson, Michigan State's own, going for 27 points. Big game for him as well, 27 and 11. Really impressive stuff there. All right, so the Pistons lose to the Memphis Grizzlies 109-103. We got Daniel Berry Sports Highlights checking in, saying sup. What's up, Daniel Berry Sports Highlights? Thanks for making the Locked On Pistons postcast your postgame destination. Coming up, and oh, by the way, shout out to the Tigers getting the win today. They've taken the first 2 of the series against the Chicago White Sox. Always good to beat the teams you should. And more of a hit parade in the first inning. The Tigers with 13 runs in first innings in the early season portion of the season. That's good stuff there. All right, we will take a quick timeout and go back through this one. I'll have my turning point and the player of the game, and we will tie a bow on it next on a live Locked On Pistons postcast here on Locked On Sports Detroit. This episode of the Locked On Pistons Postcast is brought to you by 5 Hour Energy. That's right, my friends. Listen up and listen good. 5 Hour Energy is the shot of adrenaline you can count on. There's no doubt about it. When I need a quick boost, I turn to 5 Hour Energy. And the great thing about 5 Hour Energy, it's so easy to get, and it's available in so many different 7-Elevens, convenience stores, whatever it may be. 5 Hour Energy is as easy as making a stop at one of your convenience stores and getting your 5 Hour Energy fix. There is nothing like it. Now, tons of different flavors as well, which you absolutely love. Now, I will also say the great thing about the 5 Hour Energy, as soon as I can find exactly what we're working with here on the 5 Hour Energy, it is so delicious. And the great thing about it, hey, if daylight savings snuck up on you, once again, you're feeling that lost hour of sleep, don't worry. 5 Hour Energy has your back. The extra sunshine means more time for fun, but sometimes you need that little boost. So whether you're staying up late watching basketball, hey, tonight's Final Four, maybe you're tuning in, that whatever it may be, 5 Hour Energy gives you that quick, refreshing pick-me-up whenever you need it. And don't forget the on-the-go convenience, whether you're at a game, traveling, or whatever it may be. 5 Hour Energy is easy to grab and keeps you feeling refreshed. So head over to 5hourenergy.com to find over 15 flavors to choose from, including watermelon, blue raspberry, and peach mango. You can even build your own 12-pack or 24-pack delivered right to your door. How about that? You need one now? Grab a 5 Hour Energy shot at your local grocery or convenience store. They're everywhere. Stock up and stay energized. This episode of the Locked On Pistons Postcast is also brought to you by FanDuel. That's right, America's #1 sportsbook is FanDuel. Make no mistake about it. FanDuel is where all the action's happening, and that's why it is my favorite sportsbook to use. Use it all the time. So the NCAA tournament is here. Final Four. It's giving you a chance to get in on the action like never before. Right now, new customers can get $200 in bonus bets when your first $5 bet wins. That's $200 to use on everything from buzzer beaters to Cinderella stories and even who's cutting down the nets. Listen up. You got to stay in the action with tournament games happening all the time. And oh yeah, it's April. So you got a little MLB action. You got the NBA, you got college hoops, so much to bet on. And all you have to do is go to FanDuel.com, America's #1 sportsbook. Visit FanDuel.com and get in on the action all tournament long. Pistons fall to the Memphis Grizzlies, 109-103, outscored by 8 in the fourth and final frame to earn the 6-point win. So an unfortunate set of developments there for the Detroit Pistons, but hey, you live to play another day. Up next for the Detroit Pistons, back in action on Monday against the Sacramento Kings, who will come to town. Tip off at 7 o'clock. We'll have the post-game show for you right here on Locked On Sports Detroit. Now it's time for our Turning Point segment, where the Pistons let this one get away.
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the Turning Point.
All right, here's where I think the Pistons lost this game. They have a nice little 6-0 run after being down 8 in the fourth. You get the three-pointer from Schroeder, then the three-pointer from Malik Beasley, 2-point game, and then fast forward where it was 101-98. And I wrote this down because I thought this is where the game turned, and boy, does that go well with our Turning Point segment. Exactly, right? 101-98, Pistons running the break, have what looks to be a good look, and the dish goes out to Tim Hardaway Jr., and he doesn't really catch the ball cleanly and still rises up trying to make the game-tying three. And, of course, if that goes in, well, yeah, it's a great shot, but it didn't. 101-98, the ball caroms out. Memphis has it, and Bane hits a three-pointer on the other side to take it back to a 6-point edge for the Grizzlies, and they never looked back. So that's where I felt like that was the turning point. What say you? Let me know in the comments. What was your turning point in this game? Because that missed three-pointer by Tim Hardaway Jr., it was early in the shot clock. I didn't think he had a good handle on the rock. And, of course, if he makes it, it's great, but he didn't. I thought he could have pulled it out, and the Pistons could have gotten a better shot in that situation, only down by 3 with a couple minutes and change to go. So you get a 2-point bucket, you're within 1, so on and so forth. But instead, it's a 3 on the other end. So overall, a 6-point swing in favor of the Grizzlies, and the Pistons could never recover from that. That's my turning point of the game. Let me know yours in the comments. But how about the player of the game?
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
Player of the game, got to give it to Desmond Bane. I mean, my goodness, absolutely lit it up and single-handedly willed this team to victory. And you look at the line for Desmond Bane, my goodness, was it impressive. 15 of 23 from the floor, 4 of 7 from the long line, perfect 4 for 4 from the stripe, +3, give him 38 points with 7 rebounds and 3 assists on the evening. Complete game for Desmond Bane. The Pistons had no answer. That's another part where you look at Jalen Duren in this lineup, and he's made so many improvements on his defensive game that every little bit helps. Having another stopper, another rim protector, maybe it's a different game the way this one goes. But all that being said, hey, Pistons dropped this one, bounce back on Monday, third game in 4 nights, and you understand with the excitement and the jubilation of last night's win, clinching a 6 seed or better, and a playoff spot, not being the play-in, and combined with the second night of a back-to-back, traveling back to Detroit. I'm not making excuses. These are all just facts that are a part of the context and the background for the Detroit Pistons. So bummer tonight, 109-103, but they'll get back after it on Monday against Sacramento, as will we. So make sure you join us for a live Locked On Pistons postcast, then Locked On Sports Detroit. Like and subscribe. Go ahead and tell the friend about today's show and join us next time, because the more the merrier. That is what it's all about. So thanks so much for tuning in. As always, it's a pleasure to be on the air with you. Do not take this opportunity lightly, because, man, I love me some Locked On Sports Detroit. Have a wonderful rest of your evening. We'll see you next time. Thanks so much for watching. And as always, this is your post-game destination for all things Detroit sports. Locked On Sports Detroit, free and available wherever you get your podcast. Make sure you sign up for the newsletter at LockedOnDaily.com. My name is Jake Rietma. See you next time on Locked On Sports Detroit.